I have time to show you who God is. There are three things that makes God God. The first is his essential attributes. The second is his moral attributes, are his offices. His essential attributes are his incommunicable attributes. He can't share with anybody. And there are 7 of them. His moral attributes are the attributes that he can share with creation. There are 4 of them. And his offices are the position he occupies that only him can occupy. And there are 2 of them. Let me list it for you so that you go and do your study. You know, the conference this time requires that a teaching priest should bring the oracles of God. That's why I'm doing what I'm doing. It's not just a manifestation. No, we need to teach so that you have this. I'm talking about God the Son. Let me show you the 7 essential attributes of God that only God has. Number 1, God is eternal. You know what that means? It means he has no beginning. He has no end. That's why the Bible calls him the Ancient of Days. He is existence. Nothing was before him and nothing is after him. No beginning, no end. 1 Timothy 1:17 calls him, it says, now unto the King eternal, immortal, invincible, the only wise God. So all of us are in a pool of God. He's the one who was, who is, and who is to come. That's who God is. Number 2 essential attribute, he's self-existent. You know what that means? He exists in and from himself. All of us come from God, but God came from God. You came from God, but God came from God. So he exists in and from himself. And that's not all. He exists for himself. You exist to please God. God exists to please God. You don't exist for yourself. If you exist for yourself, he will say, come, your life will leave your body. But God exists from himself. And that's not all. Self-existent means that he doesn't depend on anybody to be God. But you depend on him to be human. So if God does not exist, you won't exist. But if you don't exist, God will still exist. That's what self-existent means. So Exodus 3:14, he said, go tell Pharaoh, I am that I am have sent you. That's self-existent. I live for myself. I live from myself. I live for my purpose. I don't depend on anyone to exist. But everything depends on me. Anything you call me, I become that thing because I am self-existent. That's what it means. That's who God is. No other creature is like that. No other creature is eternal. And that's not all. He is immutable. That means God is unchanging and God is unchangeable. Unchanging means God does not change. Unchangeable means you can't change him. Malachi 3:6, it says, I am the Lord, I change not. It says, so you, the sons of Jacob, are not consumed. This is why you can trust God. Anything God tells you, go and sleep, it will happen. But if you don't know that it's immutable, you can't trust it. If I tell you now that tomorrow I will give you a car, you have to pray till tomorrow. Because even if my character is right, what if I don't wake up? I'm mad. And then I may be bringing the car to you, and the car may have accident, or I may misplace the car. But God is always there. And anything he says, if God wants to give you something, even if that is lost, he will create it again. So he can be trusted. That's immutability. I'm showing you what makes God God. And all of these things I'm showing you, Jesus is those things. So when you say Jesus, you are calling the eternal one. You are calling the self-existence one. You are calling the immutable one. And that's not all. He's omnipotent.